Welcome to the Stature Icon podcast, where we help you find the courage to stand tall and shine bright. I'm your host, Jalal Wilson, and I believe that each and every one of you is a stature icon. In each episode, we'll explore challenges we face on our journey to self-discovery and personal growth. We'll discuss strategies to overcome obstacles, build confidence, and unlock your true potential. Whether you're seeking motivation, inspiration, or practical advice, the Stature Icon podcast is here to support you every step of the way. So if you're ready to break through perceived limitations, embrace your inner icon, and make a positive impact on the world, you've come to the right place. Let's stand tall together and shine bright. At Stature Icon, we have a few maxims. Now, I hadn't had an opportunity to introduce these maxims yet, but as fate would have it, I found a way to introduce all three maxims today. And I just want to say this is brought to you in part by the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how our guy, Kendrick Lamar, has used all three of the maxims that I believe Stature Icon stands for. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you've been living under a rock for the last, I guess it's been going on for almost a month. If you've been living under a rock, I will enlighten you. And maybe you don't even know who Drake is. So let's start there. I want to give you just a little bit of, information about who Drake is. Drake is a rapper. Well, actually, I don't know. He's a singer, songwriter. He's an actor too. I wouldn't call him a rapper. He's a pop star. Maybe I don't know if he would even like the term pop star. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna call him. He has record sales of 170 million, at least 170 million worldwide. He's won multiple Grammys, Billboard achievements for, I do like the song God's Plan. And he has passed the streaming, he has 50 billion combined streams. So he's he's the man when it comes to streaming. He's got plenty of award-winning albums. He's got his own fashion. Well, he does his own thing with fashion, the OVO sound, and he has an ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. So, also, he's won all kinds of other awards and honors, right? BET, American Music Awards, all that stuff. Now, that's Drake. And I think, I don't know if he's already broken Michael Jackson's record of number ones or he's on his way. But that's Drake, right? Then we got our guy, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is also a Grammy Award winning. Now, he is a rapper. So he's a Grammy Award winning. He has 5 Grammys. Yeah, he has 5 Grammys. And this guy won the Pulitzer Prize. Yeah, for music in 2018. Think about that. Wrap your head around it. This guy won a Pulitzer Prize for his music. He's also gotten some BET Hip Hop Awards, and he's had some chart success too. But it's been nothing like Drake's success, right? So as far as record sales, streams, and all that stuff, right? So that is what makes this all very interesting, and how this aligns with our maxims. Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory. Actually, I'm not going to give you a little backstory. I'm just going to tell you about, kind of how this is gone and why this is important. And then we're going to jump into the maxims, because it is not about the beef. It is about what we can learn from Kendrick Lamar in the way that he went about this, and how this is going to be helpful for us as Stature Icons, because there's always, if you are looking, there is always something you can learn. And when I've seen what's going on, and I'm like, okay, wow, there's something to learn. A lot of people just get caught up in the beef and trying to pick sides. I actually like songs by both. So I don't really have a side in that regards. But I do like when things are done in a way that I can learn from. And even more enjoy when things are done in a way that all of us as Stature Icon can learn from and emulate in our own lives, because it's important. All right. So let's talk about kind of, where this all stemmed from. Not really where it all stemmed from, but I just want to give you a few. So there was this song called Like That, and, Future, Metro Broom, and Kendrick Lamar get on there. He basically says there is no big three. Kendrick Lamar says there is no big three. It's just big him. Okay, so Drake hears that and decides to come back with a diss called Push Up. Now, for Drake's part, it seems like everybody has just turned on this guy. He's like, man, he's getting it from left and right and center. It just seems like every rapper in the world at the same time just decided, you know what? I'm not feeling Drake. So they went in on him. And so he defends himself against pretty much all of the people talking about him, which I can appreciate. And then he doesn't, this is on April 13th. He doesn't get a reply. So on April 19th, he comes out with another song. He's like, look, if you're not going to reply, I'm going to hit you with another one. And this one was basically telling him he's scared. And he ended up having to take it down because he used some AI to come up with the voices, and he got a cease and desist. So he ended up having to take that one down. But the fact that he came back twice was pretty funny. And then Kendrick Lamar finally on April 30th replies. He replies, and everybody was thinking like, man, is he gonna reply? Will he reply? Well, he replied, and boy, did he reply. So he talks stuff. His song is called Euphoria. So that drops. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe this. Like, he really did it. Okay. So just like Drake didn't reply. So 4 days later, on May 3rd, he decides to drop another one. And in this one, he's got more juice for Drake, and he just goes in on him. And to me, the lyrics and all this stuff is not the part that I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So I'm not really going into that at all. Well, that same day, Drake finally responds with the song Family Matters. And, he goes in, he does his thing. Cool. The internet's a buzz. Well, within an hour or two, Kendrick Lamar drops another song. And this one comes in the wee early mornings of May 4th. So it was literally a few after, maybe an hour after Drake dropped his. And that, when you think about it, is absolutely crazy. Like, an hour after a diss track drops, you have another one in the chamber. Like, this is crazy. Then, later on that evening, he decides to drop another one. Now, we are saying the same day, he decided to drop another diss track. Like, this is crazy. This is just like bananas right now. In the span of less than a week, he drops 1, 2, 3, 4 diss tracks in a span of less than 4 days. That's crazy, like crazy. And so then Drake drops this last one yesterday, and it's called The Heart Part 6. Now, that's where this beef stands. Okay, so They're both saying crazy stuff on there. Who knows if it's true? Who knows if it's not? Not the point. Now, let's go over how what Kendrick is doing plays into our maxims. First, to do that, I have to tell you what the maxims are. Duh, like you got to know what the maxims are for you to understand how he plays into them. One of the very first maxim is maximizing the moment. It is where the point of this maxim is valuing the present and encouraging others to live fully and consciously within it. So this is for me when I wrote this, I want to encourage you to understand that life is just a series of moments, and our jobs is to maximize those moments, and not maximize by being busy, maximize by being present. See what each moment of life has to offer you, teach you, that you can learn to be better in the next moment. And I almost didn't put this maxim in here because I didn't want people to think that it meant being busy. That is not what it is. Being aware is what we need more of. We can all be busy doing nothing or busy doing the wrong things, but how often are we actually conscious of the present moment and being mindful of it enough to be aware of the lessons that moment brings? All right. So the next one is resilient posture. That is important because one of the things I've seen in myself at times and other men, other short men, right, is the not standing tall. It's almost like head down, no confidence, and just not believing in themselves. So I thought resilient posture is a maxim that we all need to have as stature icons, because it really is about strength and adaptability. The world, life, people are going to hand you different things, and it's not always going to be, the way you want it, how you want it, but your ability to stand tall, resilient, have resilient posture in the face of that is what will determine your ability to overcome the challenge and grow stronger. So it's important that, we have this resilient posture. Now, the third one is honestly the essence of this, and it is create with courage and celebrate with laughter. See, we were born to create. There is something in you that is waiting to come out of you, but it's going to take you having courage to create that thing, to do that thing. And when you're going through this process, because it's not always going to be well received at first when you start trying to create or do something, it's generally not. But the thing is, you have to learn to create the second part of that, create with laughter, because you understand that this is a process and your job is to have fun along the way. It's not going to be a perfect process, but it is a process. So if your choices are to go through it being upset, sad, confused, or you can go through it just with the joy and having fun, because you understand that this is a process, that you're creating, you're birthing something that would not be until you brought it into existence. All right? So those are the maxims. So let's say them again. They are maximize the moment, resilient posture, and create with courage, celebrate with laughter. Now, let's go with the Kendrick Lamar. How did Kendrick Lamar use these three maxims? Well, the first thing he did was when he decided to respond, he maximized the moment. If you are releasing 4 tracks over the course of 3 days, you are maximizing the moment. You are saying to yourself that I'm going to put out so much music on this topic that it will overwhelm him. And I'm doing this because I'm taking advantage of the present. In this present moment, it may have took him a little bit to figure out what or how to respond, but he decided to respond, and he was mindful. I mean, by some of the stuff he said, it seems like he was mindful of the way he showed up. He was present. He showed up, and he some of the things he was saying, like, dang, okay, you've actually done your research or talked to people, and like I said, some of these things may be true, some of these things may not. That is not the point. But the point is, he maximized the moment. And you can't go anywhere. You type in his name, all these articles and all these things are going to come up. You type in Drake's name, all these articles and all these things are going to come up. Drake, on paper, if you look at this, we went over Drake's accolades. So this is almost like a David and Goliath type situation. And that is where we spill into number 2 with his resilient posture. If you look at all the things that I said Drake accomplished and you look at what Kendrick accomplished, some would say that, by far, Drake has had a better career. Okay? But the fact that Kendrick Lamar did not shy away from this situation, regardless of what the numbers may look like, and he may be a bigger star than him or whatever the case may be. He did not shy away from it. If anything, he went 10 toes down in what he believed. And he spoke up, said what he wanted to say, and it didn't sound to me like this was a person that feared what could come about from this adversity. This was looked like strength and adaptability to me in his resilient posture, because he had to come up with some stuff, and he had to show strength by being willing to go at Drake, and when some wouldn't have. There's a lot that wouldn't have, but he did. And so to me, that is resilient posture being shown. Now, the last thing is creates with courage and celebrates with laughter. Some of these bars, like, he had to be laughing when he wrote. There's just no way he wasn't laughing when he wrote some of this stuff. And the fact that he created what he wanted to say and put it out there and did it with courage says a lot. He didn't shy away from it. He said what he wanted to say. He understands that Drake is going to reply. Drake is going to say whatever he wants to say. He understood that. He knew that was coming. But he created what he wanted regardless. So I want you to be able to look at this and say, well, dang, Kendrick Lamar went after the Goliath in his life. And yeah, in your life, it may not be on that level or that deep, but there's a Goliath that's keeping you from creating what it is you were born to create, whether that's something your parents said, people think about your height, whatever it may be. You have a Goliath in your life. And I want you to take these maxims, and we can look at how Kendrick Lamar applied them to his own life. And if he can do it, why not you? So the next time you are thinking you are not being present in the moment, remember, your job is to maximize the moment. What can you learn? What are you experiencing right now? Be aware. Don't just float through life. Decide where you want to go in life. That's our job. That's my mission. That's your mission. We got to decide. We don't get to float. When you float, you just go wherever the wind takes you. We got to design. And the only way we can design is by being present and aware and having resilient posture to deal with the peaks and valleys that life always will bring to us. And I know you can do this. And we already talked about the last one, in which I just love. Create with courage and celebrate with laughter. Life is boring if you don't introduce some joy into it. So figure it out as you're creating the life the experiences, the whatever it is that you want in your life, how can you do it with a little more laughter and energy? That's all for this episode of the Stature Icon podcast. Remember, you have the power within you to break through perceived limitations and shine bright. Embrace your inner icon and never stop reaching for your dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us reach more listeners and inspire more people to stand tall. For more resources, tips, and inspiration, follow us on social media. That's Stature Icon on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, this is Jalal Wilson reminding you to keep standing tall and shining bright. See you in the next episode.